Hey there, CrossFit learners. Welcome to another Relentless vlog. Let's talk about today's workout. It is a nasty little combination of a named workout. It's a lady, it's Annie, which is usually a sprint workout once you have double unders consecutively, right? You're literally just ripping through it as quickly as you can, and essentially over a mile of running, right? And we're segmenting it after every round, the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, the 20s, the 10s, and you'll see what I mean by that. You go out on a 400-meter run. And remember, I joke around a lot of times in class, as soon as you're finding the aggregate amount of running in a CrossFit workout is over a mile, it is a running workout, right? Your time for you being most likely a intermediate to advanced athlete, a beginner to intermediate athlete, is usually your running pace. So I challenge you to go ahead and maybe pull back on your effort in your dubs and your sit-ups just a little bit, or whatever your modifications are for that, and then really lean into driving hard on that run, because it's amazing how just sandbagging and turning into a hot dog, just barely shuffling on the run, can really go ahead and just destroy your time. Today's a perfect time also to practice that, because a lot of times when we have running involved, it's going to involve some really, I should say, leg dominant movement that makes the run feel heavy. Or it's going to involve something where we're doing a weightlifting or something very explosive that causes the legs not to be able to fire and get into a really fast or strong cadence. So challenge yourself on that today. Of course, be careful of cars as we're running out on the street, all that good stuff, right? No Frogger moments. Now, let's go ahead and let's just talk about kind of the nasty concept of double unders. Double unders are one of those items to where, the most unfit person in the world can go ahead and do an unbroken set of 50 if they neurologically know how to do it, right? Very much unlike a deadlift, right? You could go ahead and have somebody that does not move weight very well at all, but is very farm strong, right? And lift a 500-pound barbell, right? It just can happen, right? You have the far ends of the organic the spectrum and the neurological spectrum. Double unders are just that nasty side of, man, it is just all up here. So the question is that if this is something that you're having a hard time with, it's time for you to go ahead and ask yourself, do I have my own jump rope that's cut exactly for my size, and am I actually having purposeful and dedicated practice when I am outside of class? Remember, there are so many skills in CrossFit that we try to go ahead and hit on, and most of them have a good amount of neurological transfer, like a clean and a snatch. That first pull off the ground to the hip, almost very much the same, right? The thruster, the wall ball, a front squat, a push press, all those have remnants of each other and close enough to where you have a neurological base that keeps on layering on top of each other, right? That's why you can do a bunch of thrusters and find that your wall balls do better. That's why you can do a bunch of front squats and find out that your thrusters get better. All those other items, right? Without just getting stronger, right, organically, it can also be a neurological gain because there's a transfer of skill. With jump roping, no, just be honest, there's not that much of other things we do in CrossFit that resemble this. So it's important to understand that, yes, we try to get jump roping in once every week, once every 2 weeks, but reality, what if you miss that day? And then all of a sudden it turns to every 2 weeks to every 4 weeks that you get it. There's not enough time for you to go ahead and maybe get over that hump. So if this is something that's really frustrating or we want to get better at it, it's time for you to buy your own rope, or making sure you have dedicated practice right before or right after class of working on some skills. Talk to a coach, we can cover those for you that's more specific to you. I won't go over the myriad of different concepts or skills. But let's talk about how to cut your rope. So when you buy a rope, right, and I've got some basic lighter gauge rope, classic Rogue. This is what I would suggest a beginner to get, unless you get a RPM style or a RX jump rope, because this is going to resemble a lot of the other type of speed ropes out there. And it's got some resistance. It's not the smoothest thing, but as a beginner, you want some resistance. You need to be able to feel the rope so you can start to manipulate it. If you get something too smooth, too light, it's going to be like you're just whipping nothing out there and you're not going to be able to learn how to control it. So if you got a rope like this, right, which is what I would suggest, and then you can go ahead and realize, Great, maybe this is your travel rope or the front rope that you give your kiddo and you cut it to their jump rope size eventually, right? You're gonna go ahead and take it, stand it on one leg, as you can see, the string is here, and you're gonna pull both handles with extended and put it right up to your armpit. As you can see, all the black ropes here at the gym, the longer ones, are set up for somebody right around 6'2", right? AKA me. I wonder how that happened. So it's gonna be right at your apex of your armpit. That's gonna go ahead and allow you to be able to have some variance and some wiggle room to have some not so much virtual arm and wrist movement, right? The more adept you are and the better you are, you wanna think about you're cutting this line or the rope down to where they come up to your nipple line. So think beginner, and then eventually getting to your nipple line down here, that's gonna be more advanced because all of a sudden you've got less and less slack below your feet and it's tucking up right underneath feet, so there's less variance. That's what you're gonna wanna go and think about how to cut it. I like these ropes too because they're cheap. They're usually like, in terms of the replacement actual rope, not the handles, you can get them on Rogue for 3 ships for $3, pretty cheap. And now with us doing way more stuff outside, maybe you're traveling, this is why this is usually the first piece of CrossFit equipment that I tell people should buy is a jump rope, because you can put this in your backpack, go on a trip, and you've got a form of cardio if you know you can't run, or maybe you're in not a great neighborhood, or it's raining, or Lord knows, and the jump rope's just so good. And plus, these ropes, when they keep on hitting the ground and it's not rubber, the apex of these gets worn out, right? That's why you see at the gym lately, man, it's hard to keep up with them wearing because how much they get used outside, right? And it's amazing how they explode. Where if you have like a RX rope, those are actually pretty spendy ropes, and you really don't want to use those outside. So if anything, maybe buy one of these for your like travel rope or your rope that you're okay using outside, and it's going to beat up a little bit. So guys, there you go, a little bit of a longer one, have some conceptual items to think about. We've got, how to cut a jump rope, and this is what these I like. Beginners, long handles, and as you get better also, find your handle to get progressively shorter too. I find like that helps quite a bit as well. Guys, with that, we'll see you on the flip side, and have a wonderful day today, guys. Hopefully this is the beginning of a beautiful week, and Memorial Day coming up Monday. Have a good one, guys.